All right, you ready to go, Carla?
Yes.
Let's go. Come on. Can't wait to do this show. Always stoked up about doing these shows. Let's go. All right, everyone, here we go. So welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Here we are still very early in the 2019 ATP and WTA seasons, and we are already here on show number 25. 25. Let's go.
Okay, you said it well that time.
Come on. All right, by the way, a big shout out to Bob Davis, who is a...
Hi, Bob.
What's up, Bob? Longtime friend of Carla's, and sent us all this wonderful Australian Open gear from Melbourne, from t-shirts to his day passes to his Rod Laver arena passes.
Day passes.
Bottles.
He got to see Dimitrov and Tiafoe play.
And I have a new trusty pen.
I love that pen. I want that pen.
Let's go. Appreciate that, Bob. So big shout out to you and much love. All right, so we're going to jump right into the show. We will always place a link above to the previous day's show. Actually, it would be 2 days ago, in case you missed it. So that way you can catch up on any comments, any topics, discussions, and anything we've been talking about. So if you missed the last show, you can pause it here, click the link that came up above, and catch up. Or you can jump right in, right now, right here on this show. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. All right, so we have quite a few new members here to this group that Carl and I like to call family. I think as tennis players and tennis fans that I think we all understand that tennis is a very small world. Doesn't matter if you live here or Serbia or the United Kingdom or Uzbekistan, that we all speak the same language, and that is tennis.
That's right.
All right? So welcome, everyone. Welcome back those that have been with us from the get-go, and welcome those that are new to our, including your, tennis channel.
We had a lot of people, a lot of viewers make comments. 2 days ago we put up a show, and there were a lot of great comments going back and forth, and everybody was interacting from, like he said, different countries. Some of us were in the U.S., some of us were in Serbia. You know, I mean, that's just one country. And UK was another one.
Love it. All right, so I'm going to start today's show with some breaking news. Breaking news. Hot off the press. Come on. Carla has now been drawn into 2 bets for the upcoming French Open, or i.e. Roland Garros.
I feel bad for those 2 guys, by the way.
I really feel bad for both of them.
I can't wait.
So the first bet stems back from last year. Rahesh, respectively, had bet Carla last year that Djokovic would hold all 4 majors after we get to the French Open or Roland Garros this year. Well, he did win Wimbledon, he did win the U.S., and now has won the Australian Open. So the bet was that if this did occur, he had the Novak Slam again, that she would have to dress up like she did last year. She basically, in essence, had herself dressed up and kind of painted up in non-permanent marker about how much she loved Djokovic, which obviously we know she's a Nadal fan.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a link above to that show as well, where you can see Carla painted up with non-permanent marking, where she had "I love Nole" and "I love Djokovic" written all over her and on her t-shirt that we made for her. But by the way, before we talk about that bet, I was curious what Rahesh was going to do if he loses the bet.
Well, from what I heard, from what he said, was that he will wear an "I love Rafa Nadal" shirt.
All right, so his loss is that if Djokovic does not win the French Open, that Rahesh will send us some type of picture, an "I love Rafa" shirt or "I love Nadal" shirt, and we will put that or infuse that picture into our video.
Yes, we'll put it in the video.
We'll put it in the video so everyone can see it. Is that correct?
Definitely.
All right.
And he's a huge Djokovic fan. Huge.
So here comes the second bet.
I love this one even better.
This is a great bet. I love this bet.
This one even better.
Love this bet. The new bet comes from Kane Srbljanovic. Now, Kane is in California. And Kane is a big Novak Djokovic fan as well. But he really broke off a big bet right here. I'm excited about this bet. So Kane is so confident that Djokovic will win the French Open that he has bet Carla a brand new tennis racket of her choice.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm already doing my research on this racket.
Yeah, so she still hits with a Dunlop 300 that Amelie Marismo, she got from Amelie Marismo that she likes so much. We got her a second one on eBay not terribly long ago. But I can promise you, Kane, if you lose this bet, she is going to find that racket, and it is going to hurt economically. Woo!
I mean, you know, I'm not even losing sleep over this, Justin. There is no way Novak is going to win the French Open. I'm confident.
You heard it here.
I'm very confident. If it was a different Grand Slam, then I would be nervous, but not on clay.
Now, that's what Carla receives if he does not win the French Open. However, if he does win the French Open, Carla must paint herself up as well. So we're going to be doing 2 shows where she's painted up relatively nicely. And he wants the following words very visible for all to see on Carla and the respective shirt that we create. I love you, Nole, and I beg and ask for your forgiveness.
Too bad for them. That's never going to happen.
You know, Carla is so extremely competitive. It's incredible. She's getting picked on, and I know it's fun to pick on Carla, you know, because she's kind of a tough customer, and she's female, and you can kind of jab her around a little bit. Hence why we box. You know, she's strong. But let me tell you how competitive she is. Last night, I'm cooking dinner. And I crack an egg, and I tell her that the sunny side up's egg, I tell her the sunny side up eggs are ready, and she immediately battles with me like, that's not sunny side up. This is sunny side up. Let me tell you, she starts Googling up stuff like sunny side up. She's like, I'm gonna Google it up. I'm gonna prove to you. But ultimately, who was right last night, Carla? Who was right?
You were.
Come on! That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely, I was right. But to argue with her, sometimes it's an unending battle.
Well, Rahesh knows. Him and I have been going at it for 2 days now.
All I'm saying is that she is fun to bet with. But a lot of the time, she does win. But last night, I won on my egg bet. All right? Moving into the show. The first topic that we're going to talk about is this. Now that Novak Djokovic, has 15 majors, and that is the same number that all of us discussed many, many, many years ago when Sampras had 14 and Federer had to get the magical 15. I even had a hat that was from Wimbledon that said 1-5 on it. And once Federer got that 15th major, he was considered the greatest of all time, right?
I actually cried when he got that because he broke Sampras' record, you know, and I really wanted Andy Roddick to win that year in Wimbledon final.
Now, correct.
I really cried. I wasn't happy that happened.
I thought Roddick even was serving for the match at one point.
I was not happy about it. That's when I was not a Federer fan, but I became his fan later on.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm a huge Federer fan, devout Federer fan, staunch. But is it not true that when Federer reached 15 majors, that he was the undisputed best ever?
He was at that time.
He was the best ever.
Yes.
Now we have Djokovic at 15.
You know, to me, it's amazing that Nadal and Djokovic even got to 15. That's amazing. 3 people past Pete Sampras.
Here's the question. What does Djokovic have to do to be considered the greatest of all time, as we did for Roger and Federer when he reached 15, knowing that Djokovic now has 15 and a winning record against both Nadal and Federer? What more does he have to do? What does he have to do?
I think the viewers, we've discussed this last year. A lot of them disagree with us, but to me, he's got to pass 20.
I agree with this.
He's got to pass 20.
I disagree with her on her egg argument from last night, but I do agree.
And even he knows that. Even he knows that. To be considered the greatest of all, that people will talk about many, many years, even after he's gone, we are gone, he has to pass 20.
He has to pass 20. I totally agree with that because most tennis fans won't go to
but he had this many Masters. But he had this many titles.
Masters and titles and head-to-head,
Most people don't look at majors.
When history is written and we are all off of this wonderful planet that we live on, the history books will indicate who has the most majors. He must pass the 20. So, with that said, I'm going to put a poll question above. Poll question. Answer this question, please, and we will discuss the answers of these questions next show. Does Novak Djokovic catch and surpass Roger Federer's 20? Yes or no are your two answers. No in between. Will Djokovic pass Roger Federer's 20? Carla?
No. Obviously, I'm going to say no. You know this. You're asking the wrong person. I think it'll be tough. Do I think he's going to get close? Yes.
This is a tough question for me because as a tennis player myself since a boy and have played through the ranks of the juniors in high school and college until this very day, I know that one false step off the court, one bad decision off the court, which he has already done at one point.
A few steps he's done wrong.
A few.
Personal and injuries.
I think as human beings, we all take steps that are wrong. So let's just get that correct. Okay, we're human beings. Ultimately, this is what makes Grand Slam achievement so hard to attain. There's 128 players in every draw. One little hiccup in fitness, one little hiccup in mental fortitude will make you not attain one more major. I think most players wish they had one, and to get to 20 is a lot. So he has five. I think it's possible.
It's possible. Let me tell you, he's going to get smarter as he gets older. He's not going to play a lot of tournaments. He's going to be smart. Also, I don't even think Nadal's going to get to 20. You know, he's got to be smart too and pick the right tournaments for him. Their season will shrink. I mean, if they want to pass 20.
So does Djokovic catch Roger's 20 or surpass it? Because of the
big number.
If, again, I'll say the ifs and ifs. If I had to answer the question right now, I'm a big Nole fan. If I had to answer the question right now and put everything on the line for it, I would say no. Only because it takes a whole lot to win one. I know he has 15.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a major accomplishment.
He has 15. And I really think if he stays perfect, and I mean perfect, and how hard is a human being to remain perfect? If he stays perfect, yes. But because perfection is so incredibly tough to attain, I think if I had to bet on it now, I would say no. Now think about that when you postulate your answer. Don't think, well, he has 15 now and he's 31.
And he won 3 straight in a row, so it's going to be easy. It's not easy to win. It's not.
Just think about it. If someone gets into a grocery store at night in a rush, you know, going home to feed the wife and the kids, and you sprain your ankle on a curb, it's over. So it has to be a perfect walk of life, whether it's on the court, off the court, mentally, physically, not overexerting practice, not playing too many tournaments. It has to be an absolutely perfect run.
Yes.
And that is very tough to do as a human being.
It is.
Not that I don't.
It is for anyone.
For anyone.
Anyone. Come on.
Any off-the-court stumble or fall or car wreck, heaven forbid, anything. One small hiccup will change the tale of a whole career. Remember that. All right, so by the way, speaking of best ever and the greatest of all time, Rafael Nadal has 17 majors. 17. Now, 11 of them are at the French Open or Roland Garros. Where does this put Rafa in the category? We're talking about Federer.
Again, he would have to be smart. If I were him, I'd concentrate more on clay. I wouldn't really kill myself playing the hard court season at the end when we're trying to prepare for the U.S. Open. I'd be very careful when he plays.
Okay.
We know that his legs are not at 100%. We know that the style that he plays, his body is more prone to injury, you know? And he's already feeling the effects at 32.
So
Djokovic is in a lot better shape than Nadal. A lot better.
I agree totally.
And I even think Federer's in better shape than him.
Now, I think Nadal, as we have recently found out, has proposed to his longtime girlfriend. Good job for Nadal.
She's like, to me, out of all the girls I've seen in the tour, you know, all the girlfriends and wives, she's like one of the most beautiful in my opinion.
So do you think this helps Nadal?
I mean, they were engaged months ago. No one knew about it. He's very private about his life. Well, I mean, it doesn't help or not.
I think it's trivial for him.
It doesn't matter.
If this has been something 8 months in the making, I don't think it makes or breaks. But hey, congratulations to Nadal, his longtime supporter and better half. Yeah. I guess we can always say if it wasn't for
they've been together for a while.
The ladies involved in our lives, then I think ultimately our roads in life are much different.
Yeah.
Real quickly though, if Nadal won only 3 more, or let's say Nadal played no other tournaments for the next 4 years. and won the French Open the next 4 years in a row and ended up with 21. Would Nadal then be considered the best ever because he has 15 French Opens?
A lot of people will argue it and say no because it's just play.
Just one surface?
Yeah. I think it would always be a question mark next to his name.
All right, moving forward, enough of that conversation. Let's comment below on that. Let's get the conversation started now. Let's go! So pumped up for today. We taught a good lesson today. By the way, I have a couple rackets to string. Big shout out to Kenny Sands who came out.
Hey Kenny, you did great today.
What's up, Kenny? You did really good today. Kenny came out, longtime player, runs a couple of runs a USTA adult league. Came out and got down and dirty with me and Carla today and did very well. Let's go. All right, moving forward, we're going to jump right into some results from the WTA side, women's that is, in St. Petersburg. So let's see what type of statistics and results that Carla has from St. Petersburg.
You know, I was actually surprised how many people played in this tournament. We heard Maria Sharapova was playing this tournament. Ostapenko was playing this tournament. Sabalenka, Azarenka. Well, the first match that I have is the number 2 seed, Kiki Bertens from Netherlands, defeated Yasseline Bonaventure from Belgium, 6-4, 6-2.
I don't know how to open Bob's pen. My Australian Open pen. Here, you keep doing stats, and I'll try to figure this thing out.
There you go.
Oh!
See, that's why you need a female round.
Let's go, Australian Open pen with the floating tennis ball.
Number 60, not number 60. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova from Russia defeated the number 60 Yelena Ostapenko from Latvia, 6-4, 6-4.
We're going to talk about Ostapenko in a minute.
By the way, she had won her match before that, which was her first win of the year.
Yeah, we're going to talk.
But now she lost.
We're fixing to talk about Ostapenko in a minute.
Number 4 seed Arina Sabalenka from Belarus defeated Alison Van Uytvanck from Belgium, 6-1, 6-4.
Van Uytvank's a good player.
Yeah. Good
win for Sabalenka. Unfortunately, the bad showing at the Australian on my fantasy team didn't sit too well with me, but let's go.
Daria Kasatkina from Russia, due to retirement, was supposed to play Maria Sharapova in the next round, and Maria Sharapova from Russia pulled out with a shoulder injury again, her right shoulder.
So did Kasatkina win her first match of the year by default?
She's won 2 like this.
Oh, okay.
2 like this. She hasn't had to play yet.
So Kasatkina, who's one of your favorite players, by the way.
Yeah, but this year's a bad year for her.
Well, I think Carla plays a lot like Kasatkina. However, I think her only 2 match wins this year in of themselves are both due to defaults.
Yes, defaults. Vera Sevanareva from Russia defeated in 3 sets Julia Gorgas from Germany. Good for her, man. She's coming back in the tour. She's about close to my age. Good for her. She's a mom.
Let's go.
Number 1 seed Petra. A lot of viewers were asking me about this match. Petra Kvitova from the Czech Republic defeated Victoria Azarenka from Belarus, 6-2, 7-6.
Great win there.
So there's a lot of good matches there.
That's a great thing. For me, Kvitova played this tournament too, right?
Yes, I just said.
Yeah. So for me, I was kind of shocked. Kvitova jumped right back into action. She probably, surely, had agreed to play this tournament before her final run at the Australian Open, respectively.
I think she plays Bekic next, by the way. Wawrinka's girlfriend.
I hope that Kvitova finds a way to rest a little bit, because as we know, the female has a whole lot of things on their biological clock that they have to deal with.
Well, she has something very important coming up in February. She'll
be
at trial. Yeah, she'll be facing her attacker.
So she just ran a week or 2 prior warming up for Australia, and she made a final. Now she's right back into St. Petersburg, and then she plays Azarenka. I mean, for me,
she'll be all right, because for her the clay season comes up. She doesn't do that great. For her, Wimbledon is her target.
Yeah, and again,
she'll be fine.
We love Kvitova a lot.
Well, remember, she's the number 2 seed now, so she has to keep up with a lot of those points.
Yeah, I don't know what she's defending from last year there, but I hope she finds a way to rest. She has a trial date coming up where she has to say something against the person that cut her playing hand. She's female. She has things that are rhythms of a biology nature.
Well, she's 28. You have to start taking care of your body. Once you reach those 30s, oof.
Much love, Kvitova. We wish the best for you. Find a way to get some rest in.
All right, the Thailand Open. I had one match that I saw that was noticeable. It was Garbine Muguruza. She defeated Sabine Lisicki in the round before, but then the next round, round of 16, she defeated Mana Bartel from Monica Bartel from Germany in 2 sets.
2 good wins there. Lizicki, by the way, is one of my favorite female players on tour and has been for a very long time. I'll get into that.
And it's not Monica, sorry, it's Monica Bartel.
Oh, and then Bartel's a solid player too, so another great showing there. So good job for Muguruza. She needs right now all the match wins she can get.
She will face in the quarters Diana Yamstrenska from Ukraine. Now moving on to the next thing, Davis Cup. The men are playing the Davis Cup February 1st.
Yeah, and we're not going to run through all the Davis Cup, who's playing who. The only reason why we're bringing up Davis Cup is there is a monumental shift in the whole setup of the Davis Cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link above for a video that Carla and I did last year, where Carla and I kind of vented about the whole reshuffling of the Davis Cup and how the Laver Cup mixes into this, and how the World Team Cup may eventually venture into this. It hasn't come to pass yet, but it might. So we're not going to spend a lot of time there. We mentioned Davis Cup because the country versus country matches start tomorrow or the next day.
They start tomorrow. They start February 1st.
And then the top 18 countries will go into a tournament format at the latter part of the year after the U.S. Open. I'll put a link above for the video where we did that. So if you're new to the Davis Cup and how that works and what our problems with this monumental paradigm
Well, isn't
shift.
it run by a soccer player?
Yeah.
PK, which is a very famous soccer player.
Yeah, I think even Leighton Hewitt, respectively, from Australia, indicated that he has a real tough time having a soccer player that doesn't, or football player, depending on where you live, telling everyone how to run their tennis tournaments. And I agree with Leighton Hewitt on that.
I agree too, but
no disrespect
I guess there's a lot of money behind it, and this soccer player does have the money.
Yeah, it's about money, and I think here on the Davis Cup, it's about country and pride, and it's been around for over 100 years. But check out the link that I put above for our Davis Cup and Laver Cup, and how all this filters into one another.
From what I saw, Justin, there's not a lot of big players playing it either. Not a lot of big names.
You can't blame them really.
No,
anymore,
and
right?
I'll name, like, for instance, you have Switzerland that's going against Russia. There are no big names in Switzerland that are playing this. For Russia, at least they have Kachanov, Medvedev, and Rublev playing it.
So at this point, I would favor Russia moving forward, but we'll see. All right, moving forward, after the Davis Cup, the next topic, and this is going to be quick. We've talked about Ostapenko, Carla and I, since she won the French Open. I think it was in 2016, 2017.
2017.
What has happened to Ostapenko? All I want to garnish here is a way for everyone to comment on this topic. People over the years, male and female, find themselves in the French Open and winning it or making multiple finals. But the rest of the year and the rest of their career, they do almost next to nothing. Women and men, here's a quick list. We have the likes of Ana Ivanovic, 1-1, done. Simona Halep, 1-1, and ooh, she could be done.
Well, she made the final against Ostapenko, lost that, had that, won the next year, and hopefully she can repeat a slam.
Ostapenko, we just mentioned. Michael Chang, who I had the opportunity as a young boy to do some training with, and my sister as well, and Encinitas in Carlsbad, California, San Diego Racket
Well, he
Club.
made some finals, Justin. It's just that he had Pete Sampras, Agassi in the mix.
If I remember correctly, Michael Chang beat Ivan Lendl serving underhanded in one French, and then he beat...
He made a few finals, too.
Well, he made a final against...
At the U.S. Open, he made a final.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, besides that one win, it was kind of...
Yeah.
Not Masters, and I understand that, but major wins, right?
Right.
We had two Argentinians. Gaston Gaudio played Guillermo Coria. Coria won that, but Gaudio was up 2-0, won like the first...
No, Coria lost that.
Yeah, Coria lost it.
And his career just went tumbling down. He had won the first 2 sets, 6-0, 6-3, and then lost
and Gaudio won that.
Gaudio won that. And Gaudio pretty much retired from tennis after he won that slam, but Coria's career just went down the tube.
Yeah, and he was up like 6-0, 6-3, and then lost the next 3 sets. Decisively won the first 2, but then lost. Never heard from him again, really. We had Andres Gomez from Ecuador that beat Agassi in 1990.
Who's Andres Gomez? Well, I'm sure he has an academy somewhere.
Thomas Muster from Austria defeated Chang another year. Okay? Eva Majoli. Or Eva Majoli. Yeah.
Martina Hingis' only chance to win the French Open. She had it and lost to Eva Majoli.
Croatian player, fun to watch. She beat Hingis in 97. The rest is history. I'm going to leave this topic, or we're going to leave this topic at this point, but give us more examples of not necessarily the French Open superstition.
Oh, there's a few more.
Or the French Open kind of omen, per se. Maybe that's the wrong word. less obviously. Now, there's a lot of players that have won the French and done huge things, like Nadal, Gustavo Kuerten,
Arantxa Sanchez,
Chris Evert, Steffi Graf, Justine Henin,
Serena,
Monica Seles.
Yeah.
So the list goes on. At the same time, there's a whole lot of players that have done really well in this tournament.
Those players you mentioned were more complete players, though.
All right, moving forward, and this has to do with an insect. So the other day we were watching Sabine Lisicki play Garbine Muguruza, and let's forget about the match. Muguruza won that match, but there was a ball girl that that noticed a bug that was distracting Lisicki. The poor bug had landed in the middle of the court, and ultimately Sabine was trying to take care of the bug, and then the ball girl kind of ran out and just squashed the bug. Much respect to the ball girl. Obviously, this isn't about the ball girl or anything. I think us as human beings are...
I'm sure she didn't really think about it. She didn't think about the camera being on her.
Yeah, and again, much love to the ball girl. Thank her for her wonderful efforts as a ball girl, simply trying to resolve a situation, first and foremost. Thank you to the ball girl. This is just an example I wanted to bring up of sometimes if we don't think before we act, it results in the loss of, in this sense, a bug's life. The ball girl's trying to help, and no fault there whatsoever, but let's remember that sometimes we have knee-jerk reactions, and sometimes things don't go the way that we expect them. In this world that we live, there's cameras everywhere. I know there's cameras on us, so we have to watch what we say, respectively. But this is just an example of sometimes let's think before we act. And by the way, I love Sabine Lisicki. She's one of my favorite women tennis players ever and on tour.
You and my dad.
And I think she can win Wimbledon. I think she can win Wimbledon.
Do you want to make a bet?
Did she make a final?
Yeah, she lost to Bartoli.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a bet?
No, I don't want to bet.
Okay. Yeah.
She can do it though. Sabine Lisicki, if she can get her ranking
she won't even qualify for the tournament.
If Sabine Lisicki,
she won't even
she's
qualify.
Been injury prone. If Sabine Lisicki,
she
can
won't
get her
even
ranking up.
Mark my words, she won't even qualify.
I'm not even going to argue with you here.
She won't even qualify.
She can qualify. She will qualify, and don't be shocked if Sabine Lisicki wins Wimbledon. She didn't
qualify for the Australians. She's not going to qualify.
Whatever, man.
Her career went down the tube when she lost to Bartoli. Should have won that final.
I believe in Sabine Lisicki, and this goes back to our egg argument last night.
She will not. I think that most viewers will agree with me, Justin, that you are cuckoo.
I have a valid argument here. Sabine Lisicki can win Wimbledon, and I think she may.
I have a better chance of winning Wimbledon. Just saying.
I might bet you on that. She could win it.
Lisicki, no.
All right. That's basically our coverage, right? I think we have Rotterdam, a men's tournament coming up mid-February in the 500 level.
We have a few small tournaments we're going to cover up. Yeah.
All right. So as we end this show, a couple of things. Number one, a new segment that I've written in is Quote of the Day. Quote of the Day. The quote of the day today comes from Mao Tse-tung, Mao-Tse-tung, who lived from 1893 to 1976. And I can relate this quote to tennis. And it has to do with war, battle. Let's go. Here's the quote. Ready? Drum roll. Weapons are an important factor to war, but not the decisive one. It is the man and not the materials that count. How do I relate this to tennis? Again, weapons are an important factor to war, but not the decisive one. It is the man and not the materials that count. Or it is man, not men versus women, just mankind. Mm-hmm. I see so many players that go out on the tennis court and they blame their strings for losing. They blame their shoes for losing. They blame the composition of their racket for losing. Their coach for losing. Is it not up to us to go out there and figure it out and to win?
I would think so.
Is that not why I dislike coaching on the sidelines so inherently much?
Yeah, I think it would change the dynamic of
Wait a minute, coach. You just came out here and told me what to do and I still lost. You're fired. Get out of here. It is not the materials.
Hey, going. You're talking about coaching. That we should do a segment on the coaches that should make contracts for their pro players. That way they don't get fired that easily. It
is our internal passion and fire to have a winning record. I'm not saying you're going to win every battle or every match, but every time we step on that court, it is a battle. Period. I don't care if I'm playing you. I don't care if I'm playing John Doe. But when I walk on that court and that fence clicks shut, when it clicks shut, you are not my friend. You are a foe. Period. I'm going to try to beat you and beat you as badly as I can. I remember Carla was playing at a country club one year, and she had the country club ask her, not her club, she was just asked to go play a match against their #1 player. And she was beating him so badly, they asked her, can you give her a game? She's going to be upset. Carla was like, what? and still bageled her twice. And again, be nice to everyone. I'm not saying be an antagonist or anything, but when you step onto the field of battle, it is your duty to win. And it is not the materials you bring out there. It is your internal fight. Period. Health tip of the day and ending. This is a positive energy tip. Go out of your way every day to do something nice for somebody.
Agreed.
Whether it's help an elderly person cross the road, carry someone's groceries to the car, open the door for someone, whatever it may be. Go out of your way to do something nice for someone every day. There is a such thing as positive energy, and good karma comes from it. What goes
Plus,
around,
you spread it.
what goes around comes around.
Spread it to somebody else.
All right, that's it, everyone. A big shout out to Bob Davis for all the Australian Open
Bob.
stuff. Big shout out to Ivor Savage with YTEX Strings for believing in Carla and I to do the show and to do play testing and string testing. I'll put a link above from our last play test and string test, which was with Quadro Twist, and we will have our Hexagon X results in this weekend, weather permitting, and Carla loves that string. Much love to all of you. Much love. Unending thanks. Without you, this show doesn't exist. Like the video, thumbs up below. Please subscribe. Please share the video. If you hit the down arrow, you can expand the description field. You will see a PayPal link or a Cash App link where you can contribute if you wish to help us get better and more things to deliver to you. And we should have prize giveaways coming soon with the likes of tennis rackets and strings. We're working on a way to make that happen right now. See you soon. Much love to all of you. And as the lovely Carla always says,
adios.
Sorry to rush it at the end. We're running out of time. Let's go!